Thanks for staying with us on The Real Story. A change in leadership for the Connecticut Republican Party. Attorney Ben Proto from Stratford, a longtime political operative for the party, and he's got his work cut out for him. The party lost seats this last election, and there's the challenge of trying to define the Republican Party here in Connecticut compared to what's going on with the party nationally. And no doubt the local GOP is closely eyeing the governor's seat for 2022. So let's get to know Ben Proto more. Welcome back to The Real Story, Ben.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks for having me.
I think we had you on, was it a couple years ago with Bill Curry? You all were doing analysis, right? You were the Republican analyst for, I don't remember what it was, an election, I think.
It was. I think it was actually the 2016 or the 2018 race. It was 2018 with Bob Stefanowski.
Yes.
And Ned Lamont.
That's what it was. Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
So tell me what your philosophy is. Where do you want the party to go here in Connecticut?
Well, I think the party is in actually a lot better shape than people think it is. Legislators in both the House and the Senate, although our numbers may not be large, our ability to move legislation or to stop really bad legislation, I think we've shown that our folks there can do that. At the local level, well over 50% of the towns in the state of Connecticut have a Democrat mayor or first selectman or control the town government. And as I tell people, I'll put any Republican managed town up against any democratically managed town in the state of Connecticut, and I know which town's going to come out better. The party is in good shape. We have great ideas. We have really good candidates running in this municipal cycle. We have the special election coming up in the 36th district, which we can talk about in a little bit if you want. But I think that's a seat that we're going to win back because we just have, I think, a strong group of candidates seeking the nomination there, and whichever one of the candidates should emerge after the convention, I think is going to be a formidable candidate going into the special election.
You're talking about the seat in Greenwich, correct? State Senator Alex Kasser's vacated.
Right. Greenwich, Stanford, and New Canaan, correct.
Now, that seat normally going Republican. Kasser was, a recent Democrat that was elected. What was it, over almost 100 years? I don't remember the exact amount of time in that seat since a Democrat had been elected in there. So the problem is you got to win elections, right? And so, for example, you lost seats this last election in the House and in the Senate, and a lot of people would say that is because of President Trump being on the ticket. How do you balance that here in our state? Because President Trump is not going anywhere. He said that. How closely do you tie him here in Connecticut, or do you not tie him to the Republican Party in the state?
I think to make sure we understand that he is not the president of the United States at the moment. Joe Biden is in the United States, and the Democrats control the House and Congress. And in 6 months, they managed to tank the economy and to put us back into a combat situation. Take Afghanistan. Unemployment is up. Credit for seeing that President actually helped move along in a record pace. In all, I think the Democrats have a lot more to defend than the Republicans do coming out of Washington. The other thing I find interesting about Donald Trump, and I've said this before, is the fact that the Connecticut Democrats in particular continue to allow Donald Trump to live rent-free in their head. Over the last 6 months, the Democrats in Hartford have probably done more damage to the state of Connecticut than they've done in the last 10 years. And they really have no accomplishments to point to. So what do they have to do? Well, they have to distract the voters' attention and yell Donald Trump. That's not what we want in this state, and you're taking us down a very bad path. So I'm not concerned that Donald Trump is going to be a tremendous drag on the Republican ticket. I think the Democrats need to worry more about what they've done in Hartford and what Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are doing in Washington.
All right. Your shot's coming in and out just a little bit, but I got the gist of what you were saying. Let's talk about the governor's seat coming up in 2022. I know you all are looking at that very closely. We're waiting to see what candidates come out from your party. How are you feeling about that as a party? Is that the year that you think a Republican can be in the governor's seat?
I think we're going to be in good shape in 2022. Again, Ned Lamont and the Democrats are going to have to defend some very bad policies that they've put in place over the last couple of years, as well as defending what's happening in Washington. I think, again, as I said earlier, I'll put our policies and plans and principles and values up against the Democrats any day of the week. I believe that more people in the state of Connecticut identify Republican principles and values than they do with Democratic principles and values. We're the folks that want to remove limits on people. Our belief is that people should have the ability to soar as high as they want in their life without the government interfering. And the government, led by the Democrats in Hartford, are putting more and more limits on people and inserting themselves more and more in the government, more and more into people's lives. And that's not what people want. They want to be able to live their own lives, raise their children in the way they think, work and create business and create jobs in the way they think. And the government, and the Democrats in particular, are trying to put more and more limits on people. So I'm very confident that we're going to have a very good outcome.
What do you think the Republican Party needs to do that they aren't, or that it isn't doing right now?
I think we need to do a couple of things. I think we need to be better organized. I think we need to have some better information. More importantly, I think the most important thing that I think we need to do that we have not done tremendously well in the past is we need to really listen to voters, and we need to better understand those voters and those the citizens of Connecticut's issues and the concerns they have, and really work to address their concerns and their issues using Republican principles and values. And I think if we do that, we have a much better opportunity to be successful at the ballot box and to elect more Republicans to the General Assembly and to statewide office and to federal offices.
All right, Ben Proto, the new CT GOP chair, congratulations and thanks for coming on The Real Story. We will, of course, have you on again many times, I'm sure.
Jen, thanks for having me. I look forward to coming back.
Absolutely. All right, that does it for us on The Real Story. If you want to watch these segments again, head to fox61.com or download the Fox 61 app and watch The Real Story every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox 61. Have a great morning.